So today we are starting again with our next chapter, that is mechanical properties of fluid. Okay. Now here our topic here is Laplace's equation of spherical membrane, or you will call explanation of formation of liquid drop. Okay. So if you observe here, liquid drop or bubble are always spherical in shape. So what is the reason behind? Because of the property of surface tension, okay, they are actually having the ability to minimize their surface area. That is, surface tension is nothing but the property by virtue of which the bubble or drop tries to minimize their surface area. Okay, so in case of, if you are observing in geometrical shape, the spherical shape is having minimum surface area. Okay, so that's why drop and bubbles are having spherical shape. Okay, because they are trying to minimize their surface area because of the property of surface tension. Okay, now here a question can be asked here for Laplace's law. Question can be asked for 3 marks. Question can be explain the Laplace's law of spherical membrane for a drop of liquid, or maybe for a soap bubble or for a bubble. Okay, question will be for 3 marks, maybe for drop or maybe for bubble. If question is asked for bubble, there will be certain difference in the derivation. If question is asked for the drop, there will be certain another expression we are getting. Okay, and maybe question asked here, derive an expression for excess pressure in case of drop of liquid. Okay, that is nothing but actually question is asked about Laplace's law of spherical membrane. Okay, so what you will consider for answer here? Suppose we consider a drop of liquid having spherical shape, having radius r. Pressure inside we consider as Pi, pressure outside we consider as Po. Okay, so here because this Pi pressure is greater than Po pressure, that is pressure inside is greater than pressure outside, because this drop is having spherical shape, so there will be certain increase in the radius of the drop. Okay, suppose we consider radius increases by very small amount, delta r. This is very small amount, so that we consider the pressure that is inside pressure Pi is almost constant. Okay, even if the radius increased by delta r amount. Okay, so final radius will be r plus delta r and initial radius will be r. Okay, so you will write here initial surface area for a drop. So A1 will be equal to 4 pi r square. Final surface area when radius increases by amount delta r, final radius will be r plus delta r. Therefore A2 will be equal to 4 pi r plus delta r bracket square. Okay, so here you can expand this bracket term using formula a plus b bracket square. Okay, so expansion will be here a plus b bracket square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So here you will apply for r plus r delta r plus delta r bracket square. Okay, so A2 will be equal to 4 pi as it is we will consider here, and we will take here expansion of r plus delta r bracket square. Okay, so if you multiply here again by 4 pi, what expression we are getting? Expansion will be r square plus 2r delta r plus delta r square, right? Then we will multiply by 4 pi. So 4 pi r square plus 2 into 4 will be 8 pi r delta r plus 4 pi delta r square. Okay, now this delta r as we already considered, it is very small, so square of the small will be again a very small number. Okay, that is, for example, we consider 0.1, square of 0.1 will be 0.01. That is, for a small number, square of the small number is even a very small number, right? So delta r is very small, its square will be again a very small number. Okay, so we can neglect the delta r square, that is very small term, so we will neglect the last term. So 4 pi delta r square we will consider as very small, so that it can be neglected. So A2 will be equal to only 2 terms. So A2 is equal to 4 pi r square plus 8 pi r delta r. So increase in surface area, that is A2 minus A1, will be equal to So dA, that is we are considering as increase in surface area, which is equal to A2 minus A1 equal to, we will taking the difference now. Okay, A2 minus A1, so A2 is here 4 pi r square plus 8 pi r delta r. A1 मीन्स यहाँ पे हमको लिखना है माइनस 4 pi r square. So 4 pi r square plus and minus will get cancelled. So we will be getting only this term, that is 8 pi r delta r, right? Okay. Now here, as we already consider here, pressure inside is greater than pressure outside, means excess pressure will be Pi minus Po, right? Now next, we already know the relation between surface tension and surface energy, and the relation is dW equal to TdA. This we already derived. Okay, so dW, that is surface energy, equal to TdA. So you will put value of dA here, so T into 8 pi r delta r. So this is our surface energy, or you will call it as work done. Now by the definition of work done, generally the formula is force into displacement. Here displacement is nothing but displacement of wall of the drop. Okay, so this displacement is nothing but delta r. Now here, what is the force? So force we will define, as we already know, pressure is equal to force upon area. So force will be equal to pressure into area. So here, for the case of drop, we will consider force equal to excess pressure into area. Excess pressure will be Pi minus Po. Area will be initial area, that is 4 pi r square. So here we can put the value of F as Pi minus Po into 4 pi r square. So dW will be equal to Pi minus Po into 4 pi r square, and this displacement delta r as it is. So we are having two equations for dW, equation 1 and 2. So both are values of dW. So we will equate the equation 1 and 2. Okay. So this T 8 pi r delta r, and this Pi minus Po 4 pi r square delta r. Okay. Delta r from both sides we can cancel. Pi we can cancel. 1 power of r we can cancel. 8 and 4 we will cancel, and left or remaining will be 2 here. So the expression for excess pressure Pi minus Po finally will be equal to 2T upon R. So this equation is known as Laplace's law of spherical membrane. Okay, but this we derived only for the drop. Okay. Okay, what is the difference now? What is the difference between drop and bubble? Drop is nothing but solid spherical shape, and bubble is actually hollow sphere, right? Because inside there will be nothing, there will be vacuum or air. Okay, so while writing the derivation for bubble, what we will consider, because for a bubble there will be two surface film inside the bubble and surface film outside the bubble. Okay, so what you have to consider, what is the change which you have to write for the derivation. Here you will write, while writing this dA, you will multiply by 2, because we will consider two surface film inside and outside. So this equation you will multiply by 2, and remaining thing will be as it is. Because of these two, finally your equation for the bubble, for the soap bubble, in case of this Laplace's law, you will be getting as Pi minus Po equal to 4T upon R. That is, instead of 2T upon R, like just like drop, you will be getting here 4T upon R for the bubble. Okay. Okay. So this is all about Laplace's law of spherical membrane. This is an important topic. If suppose in case theory is not asked on this topic, some numerical will be asked for the 3 marks, for 3 marks. Okay. Now next here is capillarity, which is also known as capillary action. Okay, capillarity or capillary action. So first thing is, what do you mean by capillary? Okay, the word capillary is actually come from Latin word capilla, which means hair. Hair means you will consider very thin thing. Okay, now here, so capillary is nothing but a glass tube which is having very small or very fine bore. Diameter we consider mostly around 1 mm. Okay, So the glass tube which is having very fine diameter, very fine bore, having diameter 1 mm, that is known as, and this is open at the both end, that is known as capillary tube. Okay, so capillarity or capillary action is nothing but when we consider this capillary, suppose this capillary is dipped in a certain liquid or in a container which is containing the liquid, there will be either rise of liquid or fall of liquid inside the capillary. So that is known as capillarity or capillary action. So depending upon the type of liquid, there will be rise or fall of liquid inside the capillary. When we consider the type of liquid which fully wets the solid or which partially wet the solid, in that case there will be rise of liquid inside the capillary. And when we consider the liquid which does not wet the solid, in that case there will be fall of liquid inside the capillary. Okay, so the phenomena of rise or fall of liquid inside the capillary when it is dipped in the liquid is called capillarity or capillary action. So this is the definition here. The phenomena of rise or fall of liquid inside the capillary tube when it is dipped in the liquid is called capillarity or capillary action. Okay, so here different examples you can consider for capillarity or capillary action. Okay, for example, oil rises in a wick of lamp, that is nothing but application of capillarity. Similarly here, cloth rack sucks the water, this is again because of capillarity. Water sap rises up to the top of most leaves in a trees, that is also because of capillarity. Blotting paper absorbed ink because of capillarity. Water rises in the crevices in the rock, that is again the application of capillarity or capillary action. So these are certain examples or applications of capillarity or capillary action. Okay, now here question may be asked here to derive the capillary rise or capillary fall for a liquid having convex meniscus or concave meniscus. Question will be for 3 marks. Okay, so what you have to write, you will prove the equation. You will prove there will be rise of liquid or you will prove there will be fall of liquid inside the capillary accordingly. Okay, so first case here we consider capillary fall. Okay, for capillary fall we will consider the type of liquid which does not wet the solid. Okay, so we consider here suppose mercury and glass pair, capillary is dipped in the mercury, so there will be fall of liquid inside the capillary. Okay, and the shape of meniscus here will be convex. Okay, now here what is the explanation why there is fall of liquid inside the capillary? So we will consider this second figure. In this figure we consider point A, B, C, D. Okay, so if you observe here, this C and D points both are here either side of horizontal or plane meniscus, that is pressure at both will be equal. Okay, now and here the shape of meniscus is convex. Okay, that is pressure at B will be greater than pressure at A, because we already know pressure towards the concave side is greater than pressure towards the convex side. Okay, so according to our figure, pressure at B will be greater than pressure at A because the shape of meniscus is convex. So pressure toward the concave side, that is pressure at the B, will be greater than pressure at A. So we can write our first relation as PB greater than PA because pressure on the concave side is always greater than pressure to the convex side of the meniscus. Similarly, these C and D points are actually on either side of plane meniscus or horizontal surface of liquid, so there will be equal pressure. So PC will be equal to here PD. Okay, PC will be equal to PD. Now here if you are observing C and A, both are in the air medium, that is there will be atmospheric pressure which will be acting on it, that is both are on the same level in the same medium, so the pressure will be equal. So PA equal to PC, so both pressure will be equal. Now observing these three relations, that is PB greater than PA but PA equal to PC and PC equal to PD. Okay, so what we conclude here, Instead of PA, we can replace at PC, but PC equal to PD. So finally PA can be replaced by PD. Right, you are getting. So PB is greater than PA, but PA is equal to PC, PC equal to PD. Means instead of writing PA, you can write PD. So if you are writing PD, that is PA equal to PD. So our equation will become that PB is greater than PD. Okay, so finally we are getting the relation that PB greater than PD, means pressure at B is greater than pressure at D. Okay, so there will be shift of the liquid from higher to lower pressure. So there will be shift of liquid from point B towards the point D. So that's why there will be fall of liquid inside the capillary. Okay, to achieve the equilibrium, okay, there will be fall of liquid, or there will be shift or flow of liquid from higher to lower pressure from point B to point D. Okay, so there will be fall of liquid inside the capillary. Similarly, if you consider capillary rise, what we will consider here, again we will consider capillary is dipped in the liquid. Okay, this we consider the type of liquid which fully wets the solid or which partially wets the solid. Okay, and the shape of meniscus here inside the capillary will be concave. Right, for the understanding here, for writing the derivation, we will consider again our second figure, that is we will consider point ABCD, and here because shape of meniscus is concave upward, so pressure at B will be less than pressure at A. That is pressure towards the concave side is always here greater than pressure toward the convex side. So PB is less than PA. Now again both A and C are in the same medium at the same level, so pressure will be equal. So PA is equal to PC, and C and D both are here on the either side of plane meniscus, horizontal shape. So at the pressure at C and D again will be equal. So pressure at C equal to pressure at D, because both is here, because meniscus is plane inside and outside. Okay, now again considering these three relation, that is PB less than PA, but PA equal to PC and PC equal to PD. So therefore we will write PA equal to PD. Right, so again you will replace PA by PD. Okay, so our equation will become PB is less than PD, that is pressure at B will be less than pressure at B. Again there will be flow of liquid from higher to lower pressure, that is pressure will liquid will flow from point D to the point B. So there will be rise of liquid inside the capillary. Okay, now here one more thing, question can be asked to derive here expression for capillary rise or fall using pressure difference. Okay, again question can be for 3 marks, but mostly instead of asking theoretical question, numerical can be asked based on the formula. Okay, so what we'll consider here while writing the derivation, we consider here that let capital R radius of curvature of meniscus, that is meniscus will be here, again we consider concave upward. So shape of meniscus for 3-dimensional will be having circular circumference. So radius here, radius of curvature for the meniscus we consider capital R. Height of liquid column inside the capillary from the liquid level to the meniscus we consider as H, which is known as height of liquid column. PA we consider as pressure here, that is atmospheric pressure. Okay, now if you consider here our geometry of our figure, this will be your angle of contact, that is tangent to the meniscus and solid surface at the point of contact inside the liquid. So this theta is nothing but angle of contact here. Okay, considering this angle of contact, if you consider this is the radius of curvature of meniscus, you will consider here horizontal line which we consider as small r. If we join here, this angle again will be theta, that is angle of contact according to the geometry of our figure. And if you are here observing, this is nothing but right angle triangle. Okay, this is 90 degree, this is your hypotenuse capital R. So cos theta will be nothing but adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. So cos theta will be small r divided by capital R. So you can write capital R equal to small r divided by cos theta. Okay, this one. Now here, this is the height of liquid column we consider as h. Suppose we consider this liquid is having density rho. So according to the pressure of liquid column, we can write pressure for liquid column equal to h rho g. Okay, we already derived this relation again earlier. So you know the relation, pressure for liquid column is equal to h rho g. Okay. Now here, if we consider here excess pressure at point A, that is we consider point A and B, shape of meniscus is concave upward. So pressure at A meniscus will be greater than pressure at B, right? So excess pressure at A just above the meniscus, comparing the pressure below the meniscus, we can write here Laplace's equation, that is pressure difference will be equal to 2T upon capital R. Okay. Now here we are getting two equations for the pressure. So we will equate the equation and we will write for H. H will show rise or fall of liquid inside the capillary. So we will equate, we will put value of capital R as small r divided by cos theta. Okay. So here this capital R we are writing as r upon cos theta. You will here solve the term for H, height of liquid column. So we are getting finally here as H is equal to 2T, this will shift to in numerator, so 2T cos theta divided by R rho g. So this is our final expression. Okay. Now here same question can be asked by second method. Second method is nothing but using the forces. Okay. If we consider the forces and if we equate the forces, again we can write expression for H. So what we consider here, we consider that the capillary is dipped inside the liquid. Shape of meniscus we consider concave upward. For this case, circumference having radius small r suppose we consider. Okay. So this is angle of contact, again angle between the tangent on the meniscus and the solid surface inside the liquid. So again this side opposite angle will be again angle of contact theta. Okay. Now here, if you consider the force because of surface tension of liquid, that force will be actually tangent. This is the force which will be acting because of the surface tension. We can split this force in vertical and horizontal component. So vertical component is actually adjacent side of theta, so that will be F cos theta. And horizontal component, if we complete the here rectangle, we will consider horizontal component. This horizontal component will be actually F sin theta. Okay. Now if you observe this F sin theta on overall the circumference of meniscus, that is it will get cancelled. So all the vector here will get cancelled by the opposite vector, that is opposite force. So the net horizontal force, that is F sin theta, will be 0. Okay. Now here total upward force that will get added up according to the for all the circumference. Okay. So the force, that is vertically upward force component F cos theta, that will get added. Okay, because we will be getting on overall circumference of meniscus, we will be getting vertical component of force. So total vertical force will be equal to, or total upward force will be equal to 2 pi r F cos theta. Okay. So 2 pi r, this F is nothing but force due to surface tension, you can write it as T. So this Ft you can write surface tension into circumference, right? Force due to surface tension is nothing but circumference into surface tension. So Ft equal to T into 2 pi r. So upward force will be T 2 pi r cos theta, that is Ft cos theta. Now here downward force for this liquid column will be nothing but actually weight of the liquid. Weight of liquid we can write as mg. M is mass here, g is gravitational acceleration. Mass you can write as here density into volume, because we already know the formula, density equal to mass upon volume. So mass will be equal to density into volume. density here for the liquid mostly we consider as rho. Okay, so density we will consider as rho. Volume of the liquid column, because liquid column will be cylindrical in shape, so volume will be 4 pi r square h. So actually mass is equal to density into volume, that is rho into pi r square h. So this is nothing but mass of the liquid column. So weight of the liquid column you can multiply by g, so mg, that is nothing but pi r square h rho into g. This is nothing but total downward force which is acting on the liquid column. So at the equilibrium you can equate both the forces, upward and downward force. So our equation will be pi r square h rho g equal to T into 2 pi r cos theta. Okay, you can cancel 1 power of r, pi. Okay, so you can write your equation for h. So h will be equal to 2t cos theta upon r rho g. So this is nothing but rise or fall of liquid inside the capillary in terms of the forces, using the forces. Same here, if surface tension expression is asked to derive, you can write T equal to r h rho g divided by 2 cos theta. Okay, so this is all about for today's lecture. We will continue in next lecture. Okay, thank you so much.